Hello everyone, it's Shel C from PaperOcotilloStudio, and today I'm sharing with you my Pick a Stick Challenge Artist Trading Card Challenge result. The first prompt on this one was try, and so I decided to try out a new stamp set and die set that matches from Hero Arts. And I've never used these before, I've never opened them, so that was a good thing for try. So I got out some Archival inks and some acrylic blocks and started to try these stamps. And what I discovered was my ink pads were dry. So then I had to go through and look for ink refills for these, which I didn't have one for the vermilion. I was looking for a color that was burgundy because the color for this challenge this month is burgundy. And so the closest thing I had was this vermilion, and then I didn't even have a re-inker for it. I was also trying this, excuse me, orange blossom color, which is what I kind of think that these particular types of fish are, colored that way with some white spots. But I was having a little bit of trouble on this smooth cardstock, and I decided maybe it would be more interesting if I stamped it with the detail stamp. This stamp set has many layers that you can layer one on top of another to make a dynamic image. And so I decided to get out some different scraps of painty papers and stamp on that. And I got out some black ink and tried that. Eventually I got out some gray ink and some brown ink, all trying to come up with something that I was happy with for this month's challenge. Also just messing around, just trying the stamp set and trying it on different materials with different colors. Just, you know, try. That was the prompt. So I ended up making quite a few different fish. And then I thought to myself, if I want burgundy and I don't have burgundy, how about if I use my stamping platform and stamp it in red and then stamp over the top with brown? Because red and brown together kind of make a burgundy. That's kind of what it is, a dark red, or you know what I'm saying. And so I got out my Tonic Studios Tim Holtz stamping platform, which allows you to do one on top of another without any slippage, which is easier than trying to do it with a block. Hardly ever use this thing, so it was kind of another try because I got it. I love the concept, I just don't stamp that much, and most of my stamps are rubber, so that means that I need to unmount them and put cling on the back of them and trim them out really close, and then I could use them with it as well, but I just haven't taken the time to do it. So the other thing that I got when I got this stamp set was a matching die set that cuts out the image for you so you don't have to fussy cut it. Both these are from Hero Arts company, and I got them from Amazon, so I'll link them in the description box below to where I got them. So I went ahead and cut out all my fish. I didn't leave that in. I didn't figure you wanted to watch me cut out all the fish. And then as I was putting the stamp away, I realized that it has some other stamps that can line up on top of this. And one of them is to make spots on the fish. And I thought it would be kind of fun to make gold spots on the fish. And so I'm using my stamping platform for that as well. I could have used an acrylic block for this, but the platform was already out. But it probably would have been quicker to just use the acrylic block because it would have been fairly easy to line up. I'm using acrylic paint to do that, gold acrylic paint. I have a gold ink pad, but I can't find it. So, and it's probably really dry. I'm not sure if I have the re-ink or not. So I just went with the paint. I'm kind of an acrylic girl. And then I realized there was also this other weird little stamp that was supposed to be for the eyeballs in the mouth of the fish. So I tried out that one as well. And the next step was, what was it? Oh, quirky. And I didn't really think that these fish were particularly quirky. They just look like koi fish. So I thought about putting googly eyes on them and making them kind of, you know, funny or whatever, but I didn't didn't want to do that. I just wanted to make what I wanted to make. So I decided to use the wild card, which was graffiti, and just let that replace that quirky prompt because I can work with graffiti. That's something I could work with. So I'm using these artist trading card vinyl pieces from Shannon Green's Etsy shop. They're cut out of vinyl billboards, and she makes all different types of products with this vinyl. It's very durable stuff. She has a pack of 10 ATCs, and that's what these are from. So I put some gesso on first to cover up the patterning that was in the background, and then I put some phthalo green over the top, and then now I'm using some Pebeo Dyna iridescent colors and this graffiti stencil. I think it might even be named that. I'm going to have to look it up. Or if not, it just reminds me of graffiti. And it came in a set of 4 patterns, and it just looks like graffiti to me. I don't know why. So I went ahead and did that over the background of my little pond for my fish to swim in, and it kind of looks like the sparkles and shine that water has when it ripples. And so I was happy with that. I went and grabbed another gel print. This is from my session when I was gel printing with baby powder the other day. And I had this green piece, and I have the die that matches the stamp set that's the shape of a lily pad. So I cut out with my machine a few of these little lily pad shapes just to break up the background a little bit for my ATCs. And I did end up making 2 at one time. I'm going to just give away one of them and keep one of them in my Pick-a-Stick Challenge stuff. So because I had different iridescent types of paints on here, like in the PBO iridescent in the back and the gold spots on the fish, I needed to use glossy medium to glue these down. So I used the glossy Collage Page. I think it's called Collage Page. It's from Aileen's. I think it's Tracy Bautista's stuff, to glue everything down to my little vinyl ATCs. And just using a junky brush to glue everything down, putting the, a good amount of the medium on there, and making sure that I don't leave any area of the ATC uncovered by this glossy medium, because if I put glossy medium over here and then just left it in another place, it wouldn't look uniform. So that was how I stuck down all my pieces onto my ATC. Then I thought that the little lily pads needed a flower, and there was a little flower I could have stamped and cut out with the set, but I just thought I would like more of a 3D look. So I got out some of these paper flowers. I have a big box of different paper flowers that I've collected over time. And using some, well, it's like Glossy Accents, but it's the Mod Podge version of it. I attached those flowers and then put a little sequin in the center of each one, and gave everything a good dry. So that was my fish, obviously, was the 3rd prompt, and the 2nd prompt was the graffiti. So that was all my prompts for this ATC. Then for just some detailing, I came back in with some Posca pins. First I did white Posca on the darker colored fish. He's not technically the one for the challenge because he's not burgundy. He's black. But the other one is for the challenge, and I ended up getting out some of these Posca glitter pins because I thought that the white was too harsh, and so I used the orange colored glitter pin from Posca and then the green one on the lily pads, and then I came back in with the white and added a little bit of highlight as well. Also, I used one of my India ink pens from my Faber-Castell Pet Pen brush pens to just add some shadow around the edges of the fish and the lily pads a little bit. That's blendable because everything is sealed with that glossy medium. But because it's indie ink, it will dry permanently. So I hope you've enjoyed this project. Feel free to come over and ask to join the Pick a Stick Challenge Facebook group. The link is in the description box below. Just make sure that you answer the questions so that we know that you do know that this is a challenge group and not for anything else. And to finish these up, I put the backs on them. That's like all my information when I give them away. And then I put ink around the edges. So give me a thumbs up, leave me a comment or question below. Subscribe if you haven't already, and share this if you want to, if you know someone who loves ATCs or loves koi fish. And some close-ups are coming up at the end. That's it for me. Thanks. Bye-bye.